Halloween Horror Nights will never be the same. Hey, what is up guys, JP Land here and welcome back to another video. Today I want to talk about Halloween Horror Nights because they just released all of the ticket prices and all of the ticket options, so let's get rolling. Now this year, because of Super Nintendo World, Halloween Horror Nights is going to be slightly different. When Super Nintendo World opened at Universal Studios Hollywood, they introduced a new system of early access to enter the land. This was an upcharge ticket and a guaranteed early access into the Mario Land. You had to pay between $25 and $35 to get early access to go into the land, and it's available every day. It gives you 1 hour of early access and allows you to get on Mario Kart and enter Toadstool Cafe. They're using a very similar technique for generating money this year, but for Halloween Horror Nights instead. If you've ever visited Halloween Horror Nights in the past, you know that early entry was a benefit available to most ticket holders that purchased their tickets online through the Universal Studios Hollywood website, or if they had a frequent fear or ultimate fear pass. This year, early entry will not be included in any ticket aside from day-night combo tickets, and if you purchase early entry separate from your regular ticket. Now the prices vary between $10 to $25, but it used to be included. We now have to pay to enjoy something we used to have for free. Now this is very similar to Disney's situation because Disney also had free fast passes before the pandemic, and now post-pandemic they introduced Lightning Lane and Genie Plus, which is an additional cost. And most attractions like Rise of the Resistance or attractions like Spider-Man or Cars at Disney California Adventure, you have to pay an additional cost on top of paying for the Genie Plus service. Now Universal hasn't introduced anything like that. They've always had the Universal Express system, but I wouldn't be surprised in the future if they introduce an additional cost to have Express included with the Mario Kart ride. As of right now, only VIP experience guests are able to use their Express to enter the Mario Kart ride. Either that, or if the wait time is under 45 minutes, you are able to use the ADA pass to go through the Express queue for Mario Kart. But Mario Kart isn't included with the General Express ticket, Ultimate Express ticket, and also the Platinum Pass, which also has Express after 3 p.m. For Express ticket holders, you do have guaranteed entry into Super Nintendo World after 3 p.m. and the same goes for Platinum Pass holders. When they introduced this to Super Nintendo World, from that point I already knew they were going to introduce that system to many other events and many other attractions. Halloween Horror Nights being one of them, unfortunately. Early entry will now be between $10 to $25 per night. It is not an addition you can add to Frequent Fear or Ultimate Fear Pass. It is a one-time purchase thing, so if you use it for one night, you have to purchase it for the next night and the next night and the next night if you are a Frequent Fear Pass holder. Early entry will be sold at a limited quantity, so not everyone can purchase this. Once it's sold out, it's sold out. If you are visiting Horror Nights for 1 or 2 nights, I would recommend it. But if you are a Frequent Fear Pass holder, I wouldn't recommend this system at all. With the Frequent Fear Pass, you have over 30 nights included on your pass, and you have many nights to visit the event. If you miss a maze, you can always come back next time. Early entry used to be a free benefit, which allowed most guests to come into the park an hour and a half before opening and experience a select number of mazes before they opened. Now, all tickets aside from the 2 p.m. day-night combo will give access to Horror Nights beginning at 7 p.m. and only a select number of mazes will be open for an hour and a half before 7 p.m. It's actually crazy because the very first night of early entry is already sold out. I'd highly recommend purchasing your tickets as soon as possible because it does seem like this year's demand of Halloween Horror Nights is much higher than it was last year. One thing I've noticed is that when Horror Nights introduces tickets that seem limited, they tend to sell out a lot faster. I am pretty disappointed with this initiative Universal is taking because that means more money is going to be taken out of our pockets. Obviously, it's our choice if we want to purchase early entry now. It is pretty unfortunate because that used to be a free perk included with your Horror Nights ticket. Super Nintendo World will be open during Halloween Horror Nights, but it'll only be available to ticket holders that have the 2 p.m. day-night combo. And the hours of Super Nintendo World will only be between 7 p.m. and 10 p.m. Remember, only day-night combo guests will be able to enter the land, and the land won't be available to anyone else. If you've already visited the theme park and Super Nintendo World in the past, I wouldn't recommend purchasing the 2 p.m. day-night combo. Instead, I would recommend purchasing early access. Depending on the price, it is going to be between $10 to $25 on top of your ticket. The prices for the Frequent Fear and the Ultimate Fear Pass have both increased by $10, and I wouldn't be surprised if they increase the price of the pass next year and the year after. This year, Horror Nights will run through Thursday to Sunday nights in September. In October, it'll run from Wednesday to Sunday nights. So that definitely gives you a lot more nights to visit the event, and you already know I'm gonna be there every night. So far, we only have 2 maze announcements, the first one being for the Chucky Haunted House, and the second maze was recently announced to be The Last of Us based on the video game. This will be our first ever Halloween Horror Nights video game haunted house. We have had Silent Hill in the past, but that was mostly based on the movie rather than the video game. The Last of Us for this year's Halloween Horror Nights will be our very first entirely video game based haunted house. It's going to be very interesting, and I'm so excited to see how they pull it off. If you're new to the channel, be sure to hit the like button and also follow me on Instagram at jpland21. There you could find the latest updates, and I always post about my life. It's a great way to get to know each other a little better as well. What are your thoughts on Halloween Horror Nights increasing their prices and also separating early entry from the rest of the ticket holders? I'm personally pretty bummed out about it, but I'd love to hear your opinions. If you found this video informative, be sure to drop a like. I'm JP, and how they seen the movies. That's a wrap. I'll see you guys in the next one.